It all started on a calm Saturday morning, birds chirping, the smell of freshly cut grass in the air, and me finally ready to enjoy a peaceful weekend after a long week at work. But peace doesn't last long when you live under an HOA run by a woman who thinks she's queen of the neighborhood. Her name? Linda, or as we all call her behind her back, HOA Karen. She had this fake smile that could curdle milk and a habit of inserting herself into everyone's business. But this time, it wasn't just her, it was her spoiled daughter, Emily, who would take things to a whole new level. That morning, I had just rolled out my shiny red ATV. I'd been working on it for weeks, a little restoration project, my pride and joy. It was parked right in my driveway as I was tightening the last few bolts. Then, out of nowhere, Emily, wearing a bright pink hoodie and that same smug grin her mom always wore, walked over. "Nice ride," she said, chewing gum like she owned the place. I smiled politely and told her it wasn't just for show. I used it for trail rides. "Cool," she said, glancing around like she was plotting something. I didn't think much of it at the time. An hour later, I went inside to grab a drink. When I came back out, my ATV was gone. At first, I thought maybe my buddy Mark, who sometimes borrowed it, had stopped by. But no, his truck wasn't in sight. My stomach dropped. I scanned the street, and that's when I heard it. The unmistakable roar of my ATV engine tearing down the road. And who was on it? Emily, laughing like she was in a joyride scene from a bad teen movie. I ran into the street waving my arms. "Hey! That's mine!" I shouted. But she just yelled back, "My mom runs this neighborhood. I can do what I want." The arrogance in her voice made my blood boil. Within minutes, she disappeared around the corner. I immediately called the HOA president, Linda, and guess who picked up? "Oh, hi there," she said sweetly. "I just saw Emily having fun on that four-wheeler. I hope you don't mind, she's just a kid." My jaw dropped. "She stole it," I barked. "She's not a kid, she's 19. That's theft." Linda's tone turned icy. "You might want to watch how you talk to an HOA board member. We can make life very difficult for people who don't cooperate." That was it. I called the police. While waiting, I went through my outdoor camera footage. Clear as day, it showed Emily walking onto my property, starting up the ATV, and driving away. When the cops arrived, I showed them the video. The officer nodded slowly. "That's grand theft. This thing's worth what, 4 or 5 grand?" I confirmed the price. "We'll handle it," he said, before heading to Linda's house down the block. A small crowd gathered. HOA gossip spreads faster than wildfire. Within minutes, we could all see the flashing red and blue lights outside Linda's driveway. Emily was sitting there on my ATV, looking smug, while her mother argued with the cops. "This is a misunderstanding," Linda shrieked. "You can't arrest my daughter. We're respected here. She's just borrowing it." But the officers weren't having it. One calmly replied, "Ma'am, your daughter drove onto private property, took a vehicle without permission, and drove it across public streets. That's theft." Emily rolled her eyes and said, "You can't do anything to me. My mom runs this HOA. Everyone listens to her." That's when the cops smirked. "We don't take orders from the HOA, miss." And with that, they handcuffed her. The whole neighborhood gasped. Linda screamed, "You can't arrest her. I'll sue you all." The officer simply said, "Ma'am, step back." Emily started crying as they led her to the patrol car, still insisting, "You can't touch me." Now, if the story ended there, it would have been satisfying enough. But it gets better. A few days later, I got a call from the police station asking if I wanted to press full charges. I said yes, absolutely. she needed to learn that being the HOA's princess didn't put her above the law. Word spread fast through the neighborhood. Suddenly, all those people who used to suck up to Linda started whispering about how she'd lost control. Turns out, this wasn't Emily's first borrowing incident. A neighbor 2 streets over claimed she once took his golf cart just for fun. Another said she'd vandalized his mailbox after he told her to slow down. Linda tried to do damage control by sending a community-wide email claiming it was all a miscommunication and that no legal consequences were happening. But the truth? Emily spent 2 nights in jail before Linda managed to bail her out. And the cherry on top? The HOA board held an emergency meeting without Linda. Apparently, several members were tired of her power trips and voted to remove her as president. The following weekend, Linda tried to confront me. She came strutting up my driveway like nothing happened, fake smile in place. "I hope you're happy," she hissed. "You humiliated my daughter." I stared right back. "No, she humiliated herself. Maybe next time she'll ask before stealing." She clenched her jaw and stormed off, muttering something about ungrateful neighbors. After that, things changed in the neighborhood. People who were once terrified of Linda suddenly found their voices. New board elections were held, and we got a decent, reasonable president for once. I started using my ATV again, and this time, I installed a tracker and a heavy-duty lock, just in case the HOA royalty decided to borrow it again. A few weeks later, I saw Emily drive by, this time in her mom's car, staring straight ahead and pretending not to see me. No smile, no attitude, no words. I guess a short stay behind bars really does humble people. Now whenever new neighbors move in, I tell them the story. "Watch out for HOA Karens," I say. Because sometimes karma doesn't knock, it drives a police car.